Donald Trump continues to lead Vice President Kamala Harris in polling out of Arizona, but it is a state the Harris campaign is working hard to win over. And one major voting bloc could be one of the keys to their success. Mormons had been some of the most loyal Republican voters until Donald Trump took over the party. In 2020, President Biden made significant gains with the faith's large population in Arizona, and now Harris is hoping to replicate that support. Joining us now is the National Director of Latter-day Saints for Harris-Walz, Rob Tabor. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I appreciate you. Why are LDS voters drawn to Harris and Walz? Why should they be?
Good morning, Sarah. It's great to be here. And honestly, a lot of Latter-day Saints are just ready to turn the page on the last 8 years. I mean, we look at this most recent report on Arlington Cemetery politicizing a solemn moment. That's just the latest in a long string of things. We're ready for someone who respects election results, who respects the Constitution, who will protect the religious freedom of everyone, and who is a fresh face, ready to represent America at home and around the world, and that's Kamala Harris. A lot of Latter-day Saints are really excited about her pick of Tim Walz. These are public servants who've dedicated themselves to serving other people, to serving the public, doing what they believe is right. We're a big tent. We're not all Democrats. There are a lot of Republicans and independent Latter-day Saints who are supporting Harris-Walz. But it's because, they just represent something different and that we think is the right path for our country moving forward.
I would like to get your take on something that we heard from Donald Trump, because clearly some Mormons voted for Donald Trump back in 2020 and 2016. And so clearly there are some that like him and that want him to be the president again. I do want you to listen to something that he said to Dr. Phil about after his assassination, what he thought, why he thought he was spared.
In politics, you have an opponent and you win or you lose. But you don't have an opponent, and then you're doing well against the opponent. They take him out. They give you a new opponent. They give you a nice, fresh opponent. And so I have to win that. And if I win that, that would really serve to say that there's some incredible power up there that wanted me to be involved in saving, and maybe it's more than saving the nation. Maybe it's saving the world. I get along with all those tough guys.
So he's talking about God there. He had mentioned it before, that he believed God saved his life. There's a lot of people who are religious who truly, believe God is involved in every step of the things they do. What do you think about him saying, look, if I get this was God's will, and, I'm going to save the nation and the world?
I mean, we turned the page on the divine right of kings about 250 years ago. I believe in miracles. I certainly believe in God. And I know Harris-Walz voters who believe that God spared Donald Trump's life because of what could have happened should have something more serious have happened to him several weeks ago. But, we also believe, especially as Latter-day Saints, in moral agency, that we make the decisions. We believe that the Constitution was divinely inspired. There was a great talk a few years ago by one of our leaders, President Dallin Oaks, about what that means. That doesn't mean that the Constitution is like letter perfect, inerrant, but this idea of establishing a small r Republican form of government where we make the decisions, where we have a balance of powers, where we have checks on power. And in Donald Trump, we have someone with strong authoritarian tendencies, and that repels a lot of Latter-day Saints. Harris-Walz, they're not going to get every Latter-day Saint to vote for them, but just as we saw in Arizona in 2020, we had 18,000 more Latter-day Saints vote for Joe Biden than voted for Hillary Clinton 4 years prior. And that was larger than the winning margin. It'll make a difference in Arizona. It'll make a difference in Nevada, quite potentially. And so, we're continuing to organize and just say, look, we have our agency. We have the ability to make decisions. God trusted us with that. And we, from the New Testament, judge them by their fruits, right? And we look at Donald Trump's fruits and they are not good.
Rob Tabor, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know it is early there, so we appreciate you coming on. John.